Yo, it's a weird flex. You check on your decks. Oh my God, I messed up the word, but it doesn't matter because I flex. Because I'm with my girl, KT, and she's going to sing the song with me because we sing about rapping and we sing about anime. We don't give a damn because that's how we do every day. Oh, snap. I don't know what I'm saying. All I know is that I ain't playing. That's right, Jax on the mic. You know my shit is tight, and I'm rocking on my mic because I am the type, and I'm going at you now. Hymns on the back. I don't know what that is. I'm going to look at that. Oh, and shit. That's my cosplay. Yeah. Katie Connie Day, take it away. Oh, yay.
Yo, everybody, what's up in the house? I just want to say that Jordan is my best friend every single fucking day, and I love this dude, and we're gonna go fire. Every day he fulfills my desire of friendship and love and trust and respect, and if you fuck with him, I'll fucking deck you.
Yeah. Yes. She's from Alabama, and she can rap better than me. There we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Weird Flex But Okay Podcast. Comedy Weebs, workouts, and workout advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. Of course, yes, and we also have a Patreon, Weird Flex But Okay Podcast. We have a Twitter, Weird Flex Pod, and the music was made by What's My Name on Instagram and SoundCloud. He is, and he's beautiful and wonderful, and I love him so much. He's really cool. We haven't spoken in a while, but I hope he's doing okay. Yeah. He's actually does some really good video editing too.
He's a beast.
Fuck. Yeah, he's a fucking monster. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm Katie. I'm one of your hosts. We have Jordan here.
Hi.
Jordan, how you fucking been, my dude?
I'm okay. I am doing really good for a couple of reasons. One, I worked out, so I'm freaking great. Two, I hit 400,000 subscribers on YouTube finally, so that's cool.
Everyone applaud!
Yeah,
yes!
Thank you. I try. What was it? What's the third thing? Oh, my Stay Fit at Cons program to help you get in shape for conventions or work out while conventions while you can stay fit for the entire convention is out now. So if you go to my Twitter page, JaxBlade Fitness, or my Instagram, JaxBlade, you will be able to see it in my story or on my Twitter page because it is super cool. And it's a workout video that you can follow along with me. And also, I give you certain tips of how to make yourself look extra buff. Maybe baby oil's involved. I don't know. Does it matter? Does it matter? It doesn't care. I'm happy to help people out.
Doesn't count.
Also, I have drinking 1.5 gallons of water today. So if I get up to go to the bathroom at all during this podcast, just know it's because I have drank 1 gallon of water. My bladder is super full.
Jordan is very hydrated right now.
Super hydrated. I'm hydrated on life. Oh.
Whoa!
Yeah. Now, how about you, my beautiful co-host? How have you done?
Yes, speaking of doing things, I'm doing great. I just want to put out into the universe right now. I have been having a fucking fantastic 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have been hanging out with a lot of friends online. I've also had to there's some stuff I'm going to go into later in the podcast because we have a question that will prompt me to talk about some other stuff I've been doing. But I've definitely had some scary moments as well. With the way the world is, I've had to come out of my shell to really have some conversations with people, and it has been kind of draining, but it's what needs to be fucking done.
Yeah.
And so so the world, when it comes to living fucking life, you have to know when to be serious and when to have fun, and have fun as much as possible, but be serious when you need to be. And that's been something that has been something that I've known a lot through life, but lately has definitely been a test for me. There are people that are sometimes difficult to talk to that I had to be no, I'm not gonna not talk right now. And
damn straight. You tell him, Katie.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, but you keep telling him all the whole thing. Keep going.
Okay, I will. Jordan's already going to the bathroom. But yeah, that is something that has been up with me, everybody. And it's a lot, but I've also just had so much fucking love in my life right now. I think at least every other night I'm either watching cartoons with friends, or I'm playing games online with friends, or doing something for me, because I also have games I need to be playing, but I just keep not playing them because I keep being blessed enough to have friends that want to do stuff online, and I'm so I'm just trying to fucking cherish the people that I have while I fucking have them, and do as much as I can, because with quarantine stuff and all that shenanigans, it's You gotta still be
Black.
social somehow, because we're social creatures. So yeah, and welcome back. And
Yeah.
real quick, I just want to give a shout out to our amazing fucking patrons. And if
Yeah,
you go
thank
on our
you, guys.
Patreon, yeah, I've put up a few little journally posty boys and a very important announcement that's super important that is totally like not a joke and really really important.
Yeah.
I put up some things on Patreon recently, so yeah, like there's plenty of content if you want to just see me dicking around on there.
Yes. Hell yeah.
But yes, I want to thank so much our $2 patrons, who are beautiful heckin' people: Joseph Andrew Grinder, Adrian Leinard, Carsonator TTV, The Swagnamite, Windstorm555, Christopher Kaiser, Kimberly Calderon, Sunburst Hero, Mr. Hyperman, Jay, Tianibris, Michael Betters, Zaid, and Nyadenya. Thank you guys so heckin' much, my dudes. Like, you guys are freaking awesome.
You guys rock. You know that?
Yes.
You're like, you Dwayne Johnson that crap up. Just so you know that.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's kind of insane how beautiful you are. And
Yeah.
I like seeing every now and then on the Patreon when like one of you comments something, like when I'll like go on this tangent about life advice or something, and one of you will be like, yeah, my experience is like this. Like I love having those kind of conversations. And
They're rad.
I think the Patreon's kind of a good place like for that. And so yeah, like definitely check out the Patreon if you want. It's $1 a month, and you can just like low-key
Vending
support us,
machine
like,
snack.
yeah, exactly. And $2 a month, you get like, you know, access to everything $1 a month does, which is like all the Patreon posts and like, you know, you're supporting us. But we also say our name in the episode.
Yeah, your
Woo!
name is on our tongues. Yeah.
Yay! Tonguey names.
Tonguey
Woo!
names.
So yeah, you can do that. You don't have to. Obviously, this podcast will always be like free and available.
Yeah.
But I sometimes post it a little earlier on the Patreon, like earlier during the week. Like I'm probably just gonna post this today as soon as I'm done editing it for the patrons.
Hell yeah.
Because I just like to give them stuff early, because who doesn't love early content? But
Hell yeah.
yeah, it usually comes out every like Thursday morning. So
Mm-hmm.
for everybody else on SoundCloud and iTunes, if you want like a different way to hear it. I don't know how you personally listen to it, but
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think I want to start answering some questions.
Yeah, let's start answering these questions. Let's do it.
All right.
Take us
This,
away, Katie.
All right, this first one comes from our email. Email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com if you'd like us to answer your questions.
Do it.
And it's a pretty long one. It's a two-parter, but I think there's some stuff in here for both of us.
Okay.
Hey, Jackson Katie.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to stay anonymous.
Sure.
I've got two questions. The first one, is it normal that anytime I do anime Godmakers,
That's
I get a
push-up for
severe
people
headache?
who don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens frequently. The second question is a bit more personal. Okay, so I'll get to the second question after this one if you want to answer
Okay.
that one first.
Okay, sure, no problem. So with anime, if you're having severe headaches, first thing I would do is like with the standard push-up form is make sure that you are doing the form correctly and you're hydrated, you're getting enough sleep. And if this persists, because I'm not a doctor, I'm just a trainer. Like the thing is, like if you have a severe headache every time you do a single one, that seems like a thing to go check at the doctor. Like to be honest, because like, well, if you were saying like, oh, I had a sharp pain, like a physical pain, I could be able to analyze and say, oh, this is what you should do to fix that right away. But with like certain internal like health injuries like that, or like internal health pain, that's the best way to say it. I would definitely go check up at like go get a checkup at the doctor and say like, oh, why is this keep happening to me? Because like don't Google your symptoms, because every time you Google it, like especially with web must die, like it just makes you go, oh, cancer, oh, tumor, oh, like all that stuff. It's like it's very like annoying in that regard. So in my opinion, what I first suggest is to drink a ton of water. Make sure you are hydrated. Check to see if your electrolytes are high as well. Like you can get electrolytes just from, a Gatorade pack or something like that. Or, some salt and water, like a light bit. Or make sure you're also getting enough sleep, because like I'm just going off what like usually causes headaches in people and clients and stuff like that. It's just, like usually they aren't getting enough sleep. Sometimes they aren't getting enough like hydration, and then of course like sometimes they just have like a stress relief, like a certain like stress going on that they haven't like managed. Or maybe it could be allergies. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor at all. So in my opinion, if check on those things, make sure they're all good. And if it still persists, then go get a checkup and just make sure like you're, good. Like that's the best way they can help you out in that regard. So keep training though. Like just take your time, don't hurt yourself, and you will go far, my friend.
Well, hell Then, all right. The second part of the question is it's a bit more personal. I've been having family issues lately where I can't stand my family to the point where I start shouting and breaking down. My parents have been very unnecessarily harsh lately, and they just keep talking down to me as if I'm worthless and that I'm not bright enough to have an opinion on things like that. I've tried sitting them down to have talks many times, but it has always led to me getting frustrated and we start to shout at each other. I don't know if I'm the problem or what, and I don't know what to do anymore. I would appreciate if you guys could give me advice, even if it's harsh, I can take it. Thank you guys for keeping me sane with this podcast, as it genuinely helps me to control my emotions. You guys are awesome. Booyah. Sorry for the bad language. English isn't my first language.
It's all good, bro. It's all good, bro or broette. Yeah.
Yeah, bro or broette, like anonymous broette.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I definitely have some heckin' thoughts on this question.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was in a place recently. Yeah, I guess without going into like too much detail, but going into as much detail as would be necessary. With all the stuff happening in the world right now, I was always kind of afraid, especially on my Facebook page for some reason, because that's where like all my family is, and my family would kind of like intimidate me a little bit. Like I every time anything political would come up, they're all very like right wing conservative, like, and I'm very not that. And so anytime I'd be at a family event, they would kind of be like, if they'd make a comment about something political, if I ever fucking tried, they would just be so ignorant and like it's just frustrating because there was nothing I felt like I could really do to make them see things logically, and it was just like frustrating. But no, yeah, so like recently though, with everything going on, I'm like, you know what, no, like any platform that I have, I'm going to speak the fucking truth on, and anyone that wants to fight me on that will get a piece of my fucking mind, because I'm not going to do it. I'm very educated. Like I've been researching this enough, paying attention enough to where I feel like I can have a competent conversation, and bigotry does not stand up like to scrutiny. Like if you talk things out a lot of the time, you're gonna be able to fucking like get to the bottom of some shit. And at least in my experience with some of that. And so like on Facebook, that's just kind of where I've started. On all my social media, I've been very like verbal, but on Facebook, I started like sharing stuff that I was like, like I think people need to see this, and I know I'm probably gonna get some comments from family members, and I'll fucking go. Like, I'm not gonna be afraid anymore. I'm not gonna be intimidated when it's the truth. It is the fucking facts. Like, Black lives fucking matter. Like, I'm not gonna be quiet about that shit. And so, so I made like some posts, and one of them got like a lot of traction from like some people kind of coming out of the woodworks, kind of exposing themselves, and I'm like, fucking good riddance. And and with my family, especially my mom and my dad, this is I guess where I'm gonna kind of focus the conversation, because other family members commented on other stuff, but one of the main things I was always afraid of was talking to my parents about like quote unquote political things, but I don't think this is political. I think this is human rights. But I know that they can tend to mark things political if those things make them uncomfortable or whatever. And this isn't just gonna be me shit talking my parents, because like my parents are genuinely like people that have provided for me and love me and like do like wonderful things. And I've had conversations with them where I'm like, oh, okay, like I see your thoughts, but when it comes to like the real shit, I've never felt like I could really talk to him, because especially my father, he's very, very conservative. And I got like text messages from them because I posted a thing about like how to explain this stuff to your parents, like with the protests going on and like the everything. And they texted me like, wow, I can't believe like you posted that. And I was like, yeah, I said it. Do you want to talk about it? Is there something you disagree with? Like, I just stood my ground. Like, I was just like, and in my head, I was so afraid of like, of some kind of repercussions of some sort. Like, but I'm in a place in my life where I feel like I have friends, I have loved ones that support me. Like, I have like I'm making okay money right now. Like, in terms of like things in my life that I think I need to be control of, they don't have as much power over me as they did when I was a teenager. And so there was a fear of like, is this gonna like really strain our relationship? Is this gonna affect me? But like at the same time, like if I want to have a relationship with my parents, I felt like in this moment I needed to stand my ground and feel respected and not be talked down to. And if they couldn't do that for me, then then fuck that. Like, in this moment anyway. And so I didn't back down. Like, usually I would just be a de-escalator and be like, oh, it's, I mean, I stand by, but we don't have to talk about it. And I was like, no, like, if you disagree with anything that I just posted, let's fucking have a conversation. Like, I'm not fucking around. Like, I'm not. And so I come and visit home, and as soon as I'm visiting home, immediately I'm kind of met with, they just don't want to talk about it. And I say, and like, I'm just kind of past it at this point. And I'm like, okay, so does that mean that everything that I posted you 100% agree with, and that there's nothing wrong with anything that I posted? Because if so, great. 100% cool. We don't have to talk about it. If you're smart and I was kind of being a little condescending there, but I was not going to fucking back down, because I always have, and I don't want to be that person anymore. Like, it just, it kind of hit me, like, one day. Like, I was just in this place, and they were like, well, no, I disagreed with this part. And I'm like, why? Let's talk about it. And then they were finally like, okay. So we went into the living room and we talked. And what I took away from that conversation that we had, and it was about an hour conversation, and I can tend to, like, cry, like, easily. Like I never felt like they didn't raise their voice like they had in the past. They did not raise their voice at me, because I was very clear in the beginning, you will not raise your voice at me. You will not treat me with disrespect. We will have a conversation with the goal of understanding each other. We are going to do that. And I came very prepared. Like, I'd studied every fucking thing, like, going on. And not everybody has, like, the, ability to be able to, like, fucking quote sources and do all that shit. But, like, I was able to. Like, I was, like, in such a place that I was like, I'm gonna fucking do this. So, like, having, like, an understanding of what your core fucking values and beliefs are and what the facts are, even if you have to pull them up on your phone, is, like, an important thing to, like, keep in mind. But also going into the conversation with the mindset of, I'm not here to say what's right and wrong. I'm here to say what the facts, or I'm not here to say, like, that I'm right and you're wrong. I want to listen and understand, and I want you to listen and understand, and I want to only talk through facts. I want to talk through logical facts. So if you're going to say something that is not a fact and not backed by a source, do not say it. That's kind of where I was. And so, so I sat down and I had a conversation, and I got very cry a lot, because I remember, like, my father was, like, not fucking getting some very basic shit. And by the end of the conversation, because I'm not going to go into, like, every fucking detail of the conversation, but by the end of the conversation, my takeaway was that there is definitely some, like, underlying racism in my family, and there is also some understanding that I got of kind of how, I can't speak for all older people, but I feel like I understand where they're coming from. Not from the racism apart, obviously fucking not, but in terms of why they're disassociating so much with the stuff. Like, one quote that my father said was that, honestly, all I care about is protecting my children. And I don't have a lot in my life going for me, but my children, I love them, and I just want them to be successful and happy. I want to protect what's mine and fuck everything else. And I was just like, wow, like, that's fucking, like, he was fucking real with me. And it kind of put things into perspective that a lot of these older people, I think what's going on there is that they're very much in the mindset of, like, hey, I have this little box that's mine, and I have, all these privileges that they're not acknowledging that allows me to, like, have this box so I can disassociate with the world. So, because if this is not my problem, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't care about doing all this stuff for other people. I want to protect what's mine. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect what's mine. And I think that that's something to keep in mind with a lot of these situations, that these people, they do genuinely fucking care and love their children and, like, their relationships, and they want to do good, and they can do good for people, but they disassociate and only do things that are comfortable for the mindsets that they've been raised with, because it is what protects what's theirs. And that's what privilege is. It's being able to, like, have these things that, like, you can work hard, but that doesn't mean that there aren't privileges that guided you and aided you and allowed you to kind of have what you have. And it just really put a lot of that into perspective. And after that conversation, I don't think I was able to fully get to a place where they are like, oh yeah, we're 100% like, yeah, but it was able to kind of open a gate where I was like, look, like, as my parents, I'm going to, like, love and, like, respect you and stuff, but if we want to ever have a relationship that's more than just love you mom, love you dad, there's probably going to be moments where I kind of want to talk about some of this stuff. And if you want to have a genuine relationship with me, that's something that you're going to have to accept because it's that important to me. And I was able to, at least with my mom, get her to be like, okay. Like, and my dad too, like he even tried to have a separate conversation with me where he was like, he apologized for some of the stuff that he said, and flat out said like it was wrong, some of the stuff that I said, and I was like, yeah, it fucking was. Like, and I was even able to get them to admit something that like had happened to me when I was like 15 that I don't want to go into, but like something that I always kind of had like a traumatizing memory with, and they were able to fucking sit there and admit like, wow, that was fucking wrong, like what happened. And I was like, yeah, it was. And I think I was able to maybe give them some perspective. And it sucks because these are people that I really love and cherish, like as my family and everything that they've done for me. But there is a side of like myself that I will not sacrifice. And there's conversations that I feel like maybe can be easier because I'm putting myself in an uncomfortable place. Because there's a lot of people in the world that have families that are, you know, all pretty much on the same page about this stuff. But I'm one of those outliers, I guess. Like, but there's other people like me. But I come from a very conservative family, and I'm very not conservative. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily identify as like a Democrat or whatever. I pretty much identify as like a progressive. Like, you know, I have very progressive like mindsets. And I'm not here to put people in boxes. I'm here to judge them based on what are the policies and the facts of the world that you're ignoring or looking at, and I want to look at the reasons why you're favoring those. Like, I'm not here to say, oh, you're a Republican because you're this, or you're a Democrat because you're this. I want to know specifically the policies you are supporting and why. And like, if you can't say Black Lives Matter, that's a problem. Like, it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about human rights, and just the words you use are so important. And it took me a while to get here, and it's still painful and it's still hard. And like, honestly, when it comes to like my family, I feel like I'm kind of in a place where I'm kind of not going to go back in terms of like turning around. And like I went to a family get together the other day for Father's Day, and everyone was making a big effort to not mention anything political, and it just felt like, because my mom had brought up to me that like every time there's a family get together, they all stay quiet about politics for me because they don't want to get a rise out of me. And I'm like, I feel like I'm over here being quiet for you because if I say anything, you're all just gonna be fucking ignorant. And I'm just like I don't want to feel like I have to walk around eggshells around people. But when it's your family, like, it is a very difficult situation. And I am honestly probably getting to a point, like, and I've, you know, never said stuff like this publicly, I guess, but, you know, we're in a fucking time right now where I feel like my relationship with my family is still, like, one that I'm going to, like, you know, give my time and love to. Like, you know, these are people that I do love, but I'm not going to lower myself, and I'm not going to shy away. If someone makes a comment, I'm going to fucking question that comment. And and I have enough people in love and support and like communities in my life where I'm not going to be alone if I don't have like my family has never really been like an emotional support thing for me. It's always just been, you know, kind of like a, like, you know, this is my family, and like I'll see them at certain events. And like my mom and I guess my mom really is like the main one that's like, you know, the most important to me. Like, you know, I love the rest of my family, but my mom is like the most, like, you know, in my life. And I'm just, yeah, I'm one step at a time. You're not going to make things better fucking overnight, but I want to make, even if it's the smallest change, if someone is at an event and they feel like they're walking on eggshells around me and I feel like I'm walking around eggshells around them, I'll go and I'll be loving and respectful as I would do for every human, but I'm not going to go out of my way to stay there and make something happen if it's not going to happen. I'll speak if I fucking need to speak, and I only want relationships in my life where I feel respected. And so far I feel like I'm being respected, but I definitely feel like there's maybe a relationship that I might not ever get to truly have with some of my family because there's like a deeper understanding because of the disassociating that maybe they're doing because of whatever reason that kind of sucks, because I'm in a place in my life where I want to speak and I want change, and generally older people are a little more hesitant to change. And just, yeah, and one more piece of advice I guess I want to give kind of on the topic is if they try to bring up the fact that, oh, well, I'm older than you, and so I have more experience than you. Because, like, that was one thing my parents did is they were like, you're 25, we're, this old, you haven't seen as much of the world as I have, and you have to fucking say to them, personal experience does not equate to statistics and facts. Like, because that was the one thing that they wouldn't want to discuss, like statistics and facts. They would throw out numbers like, oh, well, 99% of police are this. And I'm like, show me that statistic. Show me the statistic of the bullshit you were saying. And they could not. And eventually, the more you ask to see the statistics, they're going to stop because they can't give you a statistic of something that is false. And so you have to kind of, I guess, in conversations like that, make sure to push in that just because you are younger does not mean that you're like that you cannot be educated, and that your personal experience does not equate to what is like out there statistically. There are things that personal anecdotes can be important for, but it's important to not let them make you feel less than because of your age. And I refused to be condescended towards because of my age when I feel I am educated. I know I am educated. I know how to use facts and statistics like on my fucking side. And that's something that I would hyper focus on when it comes to these conversations. Go in with the mindset of, hey, I just want to have a conversation about facts. About facts. Not about emotions, not about all this other stuff. Like, just, I want to discuss the facts. And if you are going to deny the facts, then we can't have a conversation. And that's when they're going to have to kind of backtrack. And that's where, like, you're not going to change their minds overnight, but that's where you start. That's where you make it to where you're not feeling like talked down to. If you can hold your ground there because the facts are on your side, it's like they cannot take that away from you. And just don't let them condescend you just because of your age. Because no matter how old you are, you have access to a plethora of information. And if you can sort through that information and find the facts, that is a fucking skill. And that is something you should bring to the table. And that is my very long tangent of some shit I went through in my life recently that I got through and I came out stronger. And I know it's, there are people that obviously have it way worse than me that, like, it's a privilege that, like, one quote that I saw was, it's a privilege that I only have to discuss racism. I don't have to experience it. But if there's a way that I can use my words to make someone else feel more empowered to talk about their experiences, like, then I want to do that. Because, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And, I'm just trying to do my best to be the best person that I can be in my social circles and my whatever circles, like, and just... because I know the kind of person I want to fucking be, and I just don't want to be a silent person. Like, I can't. I grew up that way, and I can't do it. Like, I guess that's why I like to host podcasts, because I fucking love to hear myself talk. I don't fucking know, but it's, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about life and things, and you are fucking strong and powerful, and the facts are on your side, and your family might not ever truly understand, but if you want to make that effort, they will respect you if you go to the table and refuse to be condescended towards because you have the facts. And don't condescend them either. I know that you want to. I know that you want to, but don't. Just go to the table as equals, and if they try to make you feel less than equal, don't let them. And the only way to not let them is to understand that age does not equate to the facts and statistics. There are personal anecdotes that can be important, but you have to discuss them in context. They cannot be the only thing discussed. And that is what your edge is. So that is my answer. Oh, therapy. Jordan, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
I was just like on a heckin' tangent there.
Oh yeah.
You have any thoughts? Cause oh my god, I just fucking spilled my guts.
No, I I don't take shit from people. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay, like my whole thing is like, I refuse to take shit from anyone of anything. You can be like. This is my whole philosophy. Like, it's very much like this. All right, I am respectful, cordial to everyone who is respectful, cordial to me. And then, of course, there's my human rights decency, where I am respectful, cordial to just people, just like, oh, okay, they're just living their life, whatever, thing like that. Like, to me, anyone, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, you try to talk down to me or try to like make me feel bad. Like, I don't give a fuck what you are. Like, if you're like older than me, younger than me, like, and that goes for like, you know, what race or something like that. Like, I don't give a fuck about race, the skinny, fat, bodybuilder, tough, tank, LGBT, whatever, like anything like that. Like, you talk to me with disrespect, I'm not going to like sit back and take that. I'm going to be like, no, this is a fucking fact of what fucking goes on, and this is what the thing is. And then it's just like, one thing that has helped me so much with discussions is like, this is something I notice a lot that people do in arguments, and you can probably catch it for yourself. Okay, so when people are in a debate or argument or discussion, my friend, there's a few things they do when you bring up a valid point that they don't have a counter for. One, they will move the goalpost. What I mean by move the goalpost is like, you've made a point, and so now they're trying to be like, well, what about this thing? They're moving the goalpost. Nuh-uh, we're on this point still. All right, still, sorry,
Yes,
this is the
correct.
point we're still on right now. And it's like, okay, no. And then, like, if you start bringing up other points, they'll start, like, either insulting you, like, what the fuck do you even care so much, dude? So I'm like, nope, yeah, see, you're trying to do that thing, trying to deflect. And it's just like, well, you know what, I don't even really care. You cared to start it. You cared to start the fight.
Yep.
So, okay,
Yep.
so, yeah, here we go. We're here now. I'm at your eye level. I'm at your eye, like I've got, like, that zoning thing.
Yeah.
Like, since I do a lot of fighting shit, I just, like, I got that zoning, like, nope, I'm here now. Like, if you're so powerful, why leave? And then, like, if you do this online, they'll either, like, you know, stop responding or block you or some shit like that. But it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, hey, like, I'm just going to tell you straight up. Like, if I bring up a point that is a valid point, and this is the exact point I've brought up, and then you don't have an accurate counter for my point, which is a fact, and you try to deflect or move the thing, I am not going to let you do it. Like, I will zone in on that. Like, no, we're staying here, buddy. All right, okay, that's a cool thing you just brought up, but I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm right in your face.
A perfect example of that, too, is when I was having a conversation with a family member, when I brought up qualified immunity, and I was like, this is why I think police and qualified immunity is an issue. And they tried to move the goalpost to, well, why do you think politicians have qualified immunity? And my response was, we're talking about people that are walking around our fucking cities with guns, not people that are cushily with all their money in their mansions. I'm talking about people on our streets with fucking guns. That is the fucking point of this conversation. We are not discussing qualified immunity as a whole. We are talking about this specific situation. Let's go stay on track.
Also,
and
okay,
so
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Gotta finish.
No, yeah. That's that. Yeah. Just like, don't let them take it away from the point.
Also, emotional thing is like a very talented thing. It's like, work on your breathing. This is a very thing that works for everything. All right, because this works. This goes both ways though. Like, I want to say this like right now. Like this goes for both sides. Even if like both sides are bringing up facts, stuff like that. If one side is getting like more emotional invested, then it's like, it'll start to like show on their side, and it's just like, okay, we like calm it down. Like, because I've seen like friends do this. Hell, I've like, when I was younger, before I started doing all the meditation stuff,
yeah.
I would do
get
this
really
thing too.
teary.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, it's just like, no, breathe. This is the focus on it. Because like, okay, for instance, let's not even talk about something serious. Let's talk about something like fucking jokey or something like that, right? All right, let's say like, for example, like, let's say like, I think Bardock could beat. I think Luffy could beat Bardock in a fight, and it's just like, no, you wouldn't. Bardock's like fucking Goku's dad. He's way stronger. Like, no, because Luffy is way stronger. It's just like, okay, you're losing all your validity with your point. Like, even if like, for instance, or like Bardock, like, oh god, Bardock was so like, it's just like, okay, calm down, like, calm yourself down. Like, that's the one thing I noticed on both sides. Is just like, especially if something is deeply connected to a person, then like it's good. Like, it's like, this does not take away that you are deeply invested and connected to that. That's a great thing. That is a very great thing. But like, try to control like the emotion, like, because like the thing is like, all right, we have the logical side of our brain and the emotional side of our brain, and it's great that we have both. But there are some times where the emotional side can overlap the logic of like the conversation, because you're trying to like get your point across, but you're being too emotionally like charged by it, and it's just like, okay, chill, relax. And so it's like, it's a hard thing to do. I'm not saying this is an easy thing. You just work on your breathing and like focus on the point that you want to make across, and just be like, okay, well, this is my point of what I'm making right here. This is why this is my point right here. And then another thing, like uh, another thing is just like try to keep it as cordial as possible while you can, because like, okay, here's the thing, like, okay, so
Yes.
let's say someone comes at you and it's just like, no, all right, so here for example, all right, I'll be like asshole Jordan, and then there's nice Jordan. Okay, so it's just like, all right, well, why do you think that? It's just like, what the fuck do you even know? You're a fucking brat. Like, why don't you care? Like, no, I'm sitting here. All I asked you to do was explain your point. I'm not insulting you once. I've not insulted you once in this conversation. All I'm asking you to do is bring up your point. That's it. And like, if they can't do it, then it's just like, okay, you're in the right even more, because it's just like, no, what the fuck do you think you know? And it's just like, okay, whatever. Because like, I actually, there are times where it's just like, I notice that a person will like try to be like demean you or put you down or something like that, just
Yeah.
to like throw you off your game, because like they know, like, if they throw something out there to get you emotionally charged, then well, let's say like visualization wise, you're on a path, right? And then you're going straight to that path, and then someone like puts out like some oil slick or something like that. They want you to slip you up, so you like, well, you were on your path, now you're like stumbling to stay on that path right now because you're like, this oil
Yeah.
slick was spilled. And it's just like, no, 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 no. If you can keep yourself calm and collected, which is hard, like that's why I always suggest meditation, beautiful for the brain, is just like to keep yourself on focus, like no matter how much they talk down to you, how much they try to say shit like that, and like you can be like, respond accordingly, but just be like, okay, well, here's the thing, you're talking down to me in a way, all I'm asking you is just a simple question, like, can you show me this? That's all I'm asking you to do. Like, I'm not talking, my voice is not being raised to your, all I'm asking you to do is do that thing. All right, see, you're wiling out right now. You're wiling out right now on me while I'm just trying to ask you a simple question. All right, do you really think that this is helping the scenario? And so, like, there's stuff like that I see all the time, like literally all the time, and it's just like, yeah, dude, just it's a hard thing to do. That's why I always say manage keeping your cool. Very calmly keep your cool. Like, it'll do so much
Yeah.
for you. You'll have much better conversations and stuff like that. Because I know it's hard. It's hard to be like, not get emotionally like charged on both sides when you're both yelling. But like, trust me, if you stay level headed and you stay on the course, like even if they try to throw out those oil slicks, you'll get your point across a lot better, and you'll be able to like get the things out. Like, that's from all my personal experiences, stuff I've seen. So that's my opinion on it. You are valid. Stay strong. Also, Katie, I want to say this to you. I'm super proud of you, because ever since I've known you, you've gradually gotten stronger emotionally, and like, you don't curl up into a ball anymore. And I love you to death. And I'm super proud of all your accomplishments, and the fact that you're not taking shit anymore. You're fucking great. You're a goat. You're awesome. And you're fucking awesome and validated in everything you do. So you never forget that, Katie. You fucking rock, and you keep getting stronger
Wow.
every fucking day, and you fucking kick it. And you, anonymous friend, bro at dude or dudette, bro at non-binary pal, whatever you are, you rock too. Just learn to keep yourself emotionally like stable. I know it's hard. Meditation, I got tons of videos on meditation, how you can do it, but like, that will help you get your point across even more if you're just stable, calm, and not like getting too emotionally charged, because that is the one thing I notice where people like have a valid point, and then like there's this thing, I've seen this happen so many times, like during a thing where I'm just like, dude, you had a valid point, don't get this way, because they're trying to throw you off what you're doing, and then it's just like, okay, yeah, all right, stay on focus, and then it's just like, okay, yeah, you demolished it. So that's my point.
Yeah.
Keep at it. You got this. Stay focused.
One
Stay
final
good.
note, I kind of want to end this conversation.
Good, go on.
is-
I have to pee so bad, but yeah, I was listening the whole time.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go do it,
Oh
Katie.
my gosh.
Tell them.
Yes, one final note I want to end this on is that it all starts within yourself too. You have to respect and trust and love yourself, and stay educated, stay talking with people that like support you and love you and trust you and see the truth, like build people up, have solid foundations. Like, there's a lot that you have to do for yourself to get to a place where people don't have power over you, because when you have that strength that's backing you up, whether that's the strength in your financial situation and the emotional situation of like, I love myself, I have friends that love me and respect me, I know what the facts are, I'm in this like community, I have this or that. Like, when you have all of those things that are kind of the bricks holding you together, when you go into a situation with someone that is scary, you have those things to rely on, and they can't take that away from you. They can't take that love away from you. They can't take that intelligence, your education away from you. And so when you go into a situation, even if it doesn't end in this perfect, we're all rainbow, sunshine, flower friends, just keeping your expectations and your energy in a place where you're just like, look, I feel like this is a conversation that needed to fucking happen, and I'm going to be true to myself and true to the world in this conversation, and I'm not going to let it take from me. I hope that I can give. And when I leave the conversation, I'm going to go back to the people that love me. I'm going to go back to continuing to love myself and trust myself and cherish myself. And if you can't respect me or the truth, then I understand that, and I'm not going to let it take away from my life. Like, just, yeah, it all starts from within. Like, love yourself and trust yourself first, and create foundations with people that love, respect, and trust you as well. And so that when you go into those scary situations, you know that you will always have a safe place to land, because people can't control you. They can't have power over you unless you let them, to an extent. There can be like financial situations, obviously, and like, you know, there are times where it's trickier, but most of the time, if you are solid within yourself, they can't do anything to you.
Yep, exactly. So remember this. This is my final word on it. And remember this. Calmness is a human superpower. The ability not to overreact or take things personally can keep your thoughts clean and your heart at peace, which instantly gives you the upper hand regardless of the circumstances. So remember that. That is the biggest and most complex obstacle you will ever have to overcome, is your own mind. Like you're going to be like focused, like just remember that. So why remember what I said today. Just stay calm. Listen to Katie things too. Like, just listen to both of us. All right, but yeah, it's like stay calm. Calm is a superpower. Calm is a superpower. Remember that. And you got this.
Well, all right. Let's go to our next question. That's totally different direction.
Cool.
So, I want to ask that one that we actually just got on Twitter today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Here's a question I want to ask you guys, and I'll ask the POS podcast later. What is a kink you feel comfortable talking about that you developed at a young age? How did it start? Like, nowadays when it happens, does it make something for you whenever you see it or happen? And this is from Degham.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. I already know
Lordy,
mine.
Lordy. Here we
know.
are. The only part of this question that I'm not sure about is from a young age, because I don't think when I was like young that I was like, oh yeah, kinky shit. Like, 'cause, I mean, I remember looking up like porn at one point, like, 'cause you know I was a kid, like, you know, oh, what's this? But I don't think that any of the sexy things I'm into now are things I was like into because I was a fucking kid. Like, if that makes
Well,
sense.
I understand. I think the way I took it was like something you saw as a kid that woke something in you. That was like, oh, that does something. Like for me, I know exactly what mine is. Like for me,
okay, yeah,
it was
maybe give me your answer.
all right, I am a big, massive fan of kissing, making out, as I've said many times before.
Okay.
To me, making out is better than sex.
Yeah,
Like
I do
honestly,
know that,
yeah.
yeah.
If a girl said to me, "Hey, I don't want to have sex tonight, but I want to make out," that to me is just like, okay, fine, babe, let's fucking do this shit. And I know exactly where it awoken. It was that fucking scene in Spider-Man 2002 when he and Mary Jane, like Mary Jane's in the rain, and then he's like, oh, the thing, and he's upside down, and she's just like, and he just saved her from all these like assholes, and she's just like, do I get to say thank you this time? And then like he's just like, okay, and then she pulls down his mask just to show his mouth, and then she just makes out with him so fucking hard. And I was just like, that to me, like just with the combination of the rain and how deep she was kissing him, just like that woke something up in me to the point where like if I saw making out in a thing, like it would just like my body would just go, oh, I feel good. Like it got so like when puberty hit, whenever there was a kiss scene in a movie, it could be like the most tame shit. If they like did a deep passionate kiss scene or something like that, I would go do something to that scene later on. Like I'll be real. Like, okay, for instance, like when frickin' Ron and Kim first kissed, I that did something for me. I was just like, okay, this is doing something.
Yeah.
And then like another one, this probably doesn't help the furry thing, but like when Bugs and Lola made out at the end of Space Jam, that did something for me too. I was just like, yeah, every time it happened. Hell, like Qatar and Aang. Yeah, Qatar and Aang. I was the same age. So yeah, there. I was just like, dang, Qatar, you kissing him deep. I was just like, okay, whatever.
Get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my thing. That one, that is completely originated from that Spider-Man kiss scene. And ever since that scene, whenever I can kiss or whenever I see a kiss like that, that's like a lot of love and passion, it does wonders for me. Just like, yeah.
I think I know an answer then.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a different direction, but like so I don't know if it classifies as kink, but it is something that like gets me to like this like energy that's kind of sexual, and I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, yeah. Okay, so I guess from a young age, I've been watching anime, and anime can at times feel a little sexualized.
A
That's what
little.
they're. Yeah, no, that's fucking valid.
Yeah.
There's some sexualizing shit happening in anime, and then with hentai, blah. And so from a young age, there was a certain dynamic between characters that I liked, that to this day when I see it in anime, I it does something to the loins.
Yeah.
And and it's innocent, but it's not for example, or in High School Host Club. So Tamaki, the way that he'll look at Haruhi and be like, "Oh gosh, I'm all blushy, ooh blushy," and he's obviously fucking horny as fuck, but he's doing his best to be a gentleman, and he's like, "Oh geez, I'm." I can't look at you in a swimsuit. Oh God, here, put this parka on. I'm blushing, like that shit. And then she's like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just fucking vibing. And he's like, oh God,
Right.
you're so pure. Like stuff like that. And then another example, Ryoga Hibiki from Ranma 1/2. When it comes to women, he on his own, he's this fucking dude that can fuck shit up, and he's out here fucking killing it. But then whenever Akane's around, he's like, ah, he's all giggly and shit, and because he is kind of that cis masculine, and she's just cis feminine, and when that kind of collides, and there's that oh yeah, I'm over here doing my boy shit, I don't fucking know, but then when there's a lady around, I'm all ooh woo about it, but I'm hyper respectful.
Right.
Hyper respectful horny, that's kind of the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Is
That's valid.
but they have to have kind of because I don't like the anime boys that are very if they look very, very, very young, I cannot. They have to have a jawline. They have to look like they're in their 20s,
Right.
They have to be the soft uwu boy, but they have but they're kind of chiseled,
Right.
They don't have to have fucking abs, Tamaki Suo does not fucking have abs, but he's a tall boy that's you don't also have to be tall necessarily, but he looks like an adult. They have to look like a heckin' adult, and they have to be all soft uwu boys, but they also have their own shit going on, it fucking gets me, and that has somehow kind of also transferred into real life when it comes to guys that I'd be interested in, is they fucking adults, and they have this kind of intimidated's the wrong word, but when we're near each other, there's this tension, of oh fuck, we respect each other a fuck ton, and we're just kind of being aloof with each other, but we fucking are really smart and we know what's going on, but we don't at this there's this game, and it's very reminiscent of that when they're just all fucking ooh woo and shit. But I don't know, that's the best way to describe it. My words are jumbled. I love my horny anime boys. I am a fucking trash pile, and I love it so much.
Yeah. Valid.
That's a kink? Question mark?
Yeah. If it gets your loins going, it's a kink.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Mm.
Cuz when it comes to when it comes to boys and stuff, physical attraction is important to a degree, how you look is something that is important, but it's that stuff going on and inside your fucking head that gets it there. And so the kink comes more from not what the anime boy looks like, but more about that fucking that fucking trait.
Right.
And I just when I've met guys like that in real life too, not obviously clones of anime characters, because obviously anime characters should not translate to real life 100%, but there's a quality
unless you're
about
Goku, because he's fucking amazing, and everyone should be like Goku because he's buff and the god of everything.
Sure.
And if you have a problem with that, I swear to God, I'll fucking beat all of you.
Oh God.
There you go.
But yeah, I guess that's it. Cause Jordan's was more focused on a physical thing, kissing, and kissing's fucking cool. Like when it comes to all the physical stuff, I love doing physical things. Fucking's rad, my dude. I love all that good shit. But from a young age, that wasn't where my focus was. When I wrote fan fiction, it wasn't so much about the physical acts being done. It was about the context that built towards these acts. I would write fan fiction about Naruto Truth or Dare, and oh, we're gonna go into this closet 7 minutes in heaven, fucking teenage bullshit. And and it wasn't about the fact that ooh, oh, I'm kissing Naruto. Ooh. It was about oh, Katie, I've noticed you're such a good ninja.
Right. Another
oh
kink.
God.
There you go.
Yeah, it would just be about that build up, because foreplay's all in the fucking mind, man. That's where the magic happens. That's where the real shit's happening. Where you're just standing there, you're not even fucking touching each other, but the tension is insane. I love that shit, and I've been there, and and I prefer stuff where I'm more I like being dominated more. But I've definitely noticed that when it comes to my anime boys and stuff, sometimes I just want to fucking dom, man. I just want to dom my fucking anime boys that are too uwu soft. That's something I've discovered about myself, man. And I'm just I'm going on this adventure called life, and just anything that comes to me, I just I'm feeling it. Let's just fucking go. Love what you love, man. If it turns you on, embrace it. Just fucking go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as everyone's happy and feels respected and safe.
Yeah.
Because my kink is respect.
Yeah.
Apparently my kink is super soft uwu boy respect. I guess? Question mark?
Yes. Yes.
Hooray! Well, I hope that conversation did something for you.
There you go.
Dagham.
Hope that conversation. Well, you'll hear it later tonight from the boys on the podcast too. So yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. All right. Let's go to this next question from our email. And oh wow, we're already 50 minutes in.
Cool.
All right. So I think this might be the last question we do. And then we'll do unless you want to do the other one and we save this one.
Well, what is this one?
This one's from Echovitis.
Oh, I said that. Okay, let me read it. Okay, let me see.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun question.
Okay.
We'll either do it today or next week. But yeah,
okay,
sure. Let's do it then.
Yeah.
All right, so this comes from Ecovitus. It says, "Hi, Katie. Hey, Jax. Hope you're having a good day. How do you usually react when someone casually talks about things that they are not good at, but you are good at? Are you satisfied with your actions in these situations? So, for example, Jordan, you're very strong and fit, but if one of your acquaintances mentions his fat problems, would you instantly try to help him, convince the person how to get fit, or would you stay chill and quiet and think, whatever, he's okay, he'll learn it? Honestly, in the podcast, I consider Jax to be chill around others. Am I right? Also, what about you, Katie? So, yeah, you want to go into that?
Yeah, you fat bitch. This is what your problem is. You
Damn!
need to eat so much. It really depends on the friend. It depends on the friend. It really depends on the friend because, there are some friends where it's just they're trying. Okay, no, okay. This is the thing, right? All right, so I have a rule of 3. I have a rule of 3 where it's just okay, so let's say a friend is just oh yeah, I'm just trying to lose weight and do this, and I'll be oh sweet man, well I mean do you have any questions about it? This is literally my job. I've been doing it for over a decade. I can help. It's just yeah dude, maybe this, and I'm okay, do it. And then I give advice that's really valid advice because my advice helps many clients. It's just all the time, and it's okay, do it. If they don't do it, and then they're oh, so I'm still fat, and it's just well, I mean, I told you the exact advice of what you need to do, so that would, it's still relevant, still would help. Okay, whatever. If they do it a third time, I'm nah, shut the fuck up. All right, I've told you how many fucking times. It depends on also depends on if they're have depression or something like that, or this. But if it's just a friend, because I have friends who are lazy who do this thing to me where it's just oh man, I'm so out of shape, and I'm just oh dude, well I mean you can try this, it'll work for you, it's definitely good. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. And it's just oh man, I'm still so lazy. And it's just I mean, did you try the thing I gave you last time? And it's just yeah, whatever. And it's just okay, and then it's okay, the third time it's just okay, you can do something about it, or you can stop complaining about it. It really depends. It really because because before I honestly I've noticed this. Like, I was going back looking through like my 2012 like freaking tweets of when I was just like Chris Traeger from like Happy. I was just like,
Yeah.
hey guys, I hope you have a great day. Just go do something. That nowadays we're just like,
Oh
bitch, shut the
yeah.
fuck up. It's just like not
Shut
like
the
man,
fuck
I
up,
love
dude.
I love so much, but it's just like I've realized as I've gotten older that like coddling, you don't coddle people as often. Like if they you like say like, because to me like I'm a genuine thing of like, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. I love you out, like stuff like that. Like if you're gently asking me for help, I will be there for you. But like if you go like more than 2 times and you're still complaining about it, I'm not gonna be like, man, do you know what the fuck to do? Just stop being fucking lazy. I'm not gonna coddle you anymore. Like they're gonna be like, Jordan, why are you being so mean? No, shut up. They need to hear this. All right, I love you, but this
Yeah.
is like you're being lazy. No one else is telling you that. I'm sorry, because like honestly, I do think it's good to have friends who will call you out on your BS. Like if you know for a fact that you are being like, because like the first few times I'm just like, yeah, dude, you're still getting there. But after like the third and fourth time, I'm just like, dude, come the fuck on now. Like stop whining about it. Just fucking do it. Like, but again, if they have like depression or mental health issues or something like that, then I like talk to them like very casually and just like, hey man, you can do this. All right, whatever. All right, if you don't want to, then it's cool. Whatever, that's your life. But like, also it depends on like, let's say I have a friend who is like overweight or something, right? And they're like vibing being overweight, right? Like they're just chill. I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
like, yeah, you need to lose weight, fatty, or some shit. Like I would just be like, no, bro,
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
you enjoy it. Like as a matter of fact, I always bring this up on social media. There is this fucking amazing episode of Hey Arnold where Harold,
Yeah.
he was like, he's the fat kid of the group, whatever, and so like he used to be the fat bully of the group and stuff like that. But then like in the episode, he starts realizing everyone keeps calling him fat, and he's just like, oh, I feel self conscious about it. So he goes on this like this boat trip, which is supposed to help him lose weight, but because he was so self conscious about losing weight, all he did was eat the entire time. So like he got fatter when he came back, and so everyone was just like trying to be nice, but like kids, they're assholes. So like they were like, dude, you look like you're as big as
Yeah.
house. And so like at the end of the episode, Arnold goes up to him, and then Harold just has his breakdowns, just like, no, like all these people keep calling me fat, and then I just keep eating, and I don't know I'm fat. And then like Arnold was like, did you think you were fat? And he was like, what? He was like, did you think you were fat? Did you ever not like how you were? He's like, no, I like the way I was. And he's just like, yeah, see, then that's it. And at the end of the episode, he gets back to his old, like, chubby self. And then, like, everyone's like, oh, you look great. And I think that is a phenomenal message. Because it's just like, if you like
Yeah.
how you look, you should like how you look. All right. If you don't like how you look, there's nothing wrong with it. Because like, there's this thing. I'm gonna go on my Katie tangent now, Katie, right now, because it's fucking.
Do it.
I'm so sick. Because like there's this thing that I fucking can't stand. Right, where like someone loses weight. And then they're trying to like, they're like doing it for health reasons or whatever. They want to feel better. They want to look comfortable. And then you get people like saying, "Oh, you look better when you're fat." Dude, dude, you don't have to do it. You look good the way you are. And I see, sometimes it comes from a good place. Sometimes it's just like, I'm mitigating a feeling of inadequacy. I see you doing something I don't want to do or can't do or won't do for myself. And I don't want you to like surpass me in some way, so I'm going to say something to like make you regress back to what you were. And I fucking hate that. I will curse you out to your fucking face if you ever do so. If someone is being healthy, trying to be healthy, and like you're like saying like, oh, you were fine when you were bigger, and it's just like, dude, I'm losing weight because of heart issues, blah blah blah. No, fuck you. I will curse you out to your
Yeah.
motherfucking face. I don't give a damn. I will embarrass you publicly if you fucking do that to someone who's trying their best to like to be in a better
Yeah.
state. I fucking hate that. I fucking despise that no matter what. So that I really, it fucking irritates me every time someone is like on like that whole fucking Adele thing that happened. It's just like, oh, she's fat phobic because she lost weight. No, she lost weight because she wanted to. Like, okay, like she lost weight because she
Yeah.
wanted to be that way. It's not fat phobic to lose weight. Like, there's just so much shit of just like, oh, you're fat phobic because you
Yeah.
show your abs on social media. I don't have. It's like, no. No, fat phobic would be me typing out a thing like, I can't believe all these freaking blobs do blah, 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 or some crap like that. That's fat phobic. Or if like I'm talking down to someone because of their appearance, that is body shaming and all that. If someone
Yeah.
is actually improving their body, improve the way they look, improving their aesthetic, and they are like confident and they're like getting more confident, and then they post a picture of it and they're like, oh yeah, I used to be this size, now I'm this size, and someone comments, oh, that's fat phobic. No, fuck you. That's not fat phobic. That's them making an accomplishment and posting it to be proud of. There's nothing wrong with that. And anyone tries to say there's something wrong with that, like I go off on those people. See, I'm doing what I said earlier, where I get emotionally charged. So like my argument is doing it. So it's just like, okay, calm down. calm super no, but like that's honest truth of the matter. Like if you
Oh
are
yeah.
genuinely happy with your body, whoever you are, then don't let anyone ever make you feel like you should be ashamed of your body. If you are trying to be healthy and you keep saying no, but you're just being lazy, I will fucking call you out for being lazy. If you're have mental health issues and you're trying, like I'll just say my suggestions, but like I'm not gonna hound you about it. If you are like generally losing weight and then like that thing and someone comes at you, I got your back because I will curse them the fuck out. I will go off on them. I will make them feel stupid for saying anything. But yes, that is my Jack's rant. This is the rant episode. This is what the episode could be. Rants. Yes,
And
whatever.
My my answer to this question's a different area. When it comes to voice acting, actually, I've had people that have come into my life that like, you know, when I'm just like doing my auditions, doing all this stuff, or like if I post like, oh, I'm in this project and da da da. I've gotten like DMs from people before that like have been like, oh, I really want to get into voice acting. And I don't really believe in like gatekeeping. Like I think this community can be better, like, you know, if we help each other. But there's like, you know, I'm not just gonna give you a fucking recommendation when you've never done it before. Like, you know, there's certain stuff you have to kind of fucking like
Right.
But if I get a question from someone that's like, hey, I've never gotten into voice acting, I want to learn more about it, and that's how they start the conversation, I always say, here's my email address. I want you to email me this question with more specific questions. And if you do that for me, I will answer to the best of my ability any questions that you have with what I know. I can only speak to what I know. And 90% of the time, they don't send that fucking email. They don't take that next step to send the email, which shows me, okay, they actually don't want to make an effort to learn. They just on a whim wanted to have a conversation about it, which, you know, is fine. But because that's happened a lot, I'm just at a point where, like, you know, if you want to talk about this, I'll talk about it, but we have to do it in a way that like that I can do, that I feel like I'm helping. Like I'm not just gonna sit here and jerk you off for 10 minutes about how, oh, voice acting's really cool. Like I don't really want to do that if I don't even know you.
Right,
like,
right.
And so I do that. But if, you know, on the 10% chance, like there have been like 2 people that have emailed me, and I'd be like, okay, cool. So I tell them everything that I know about how I started, how you can start, and it's pretty much just like, you know, okay, you're gonna have to go from here. Here's the tools to get you started. Go do it. If you have any questions along the way, cool, but just you have to do this. You have to go find auditions. You have to get your mic set up. You have to get your studio set up. You have to do this, and this. And I give them that knowledge. And I think one person out of like maybe 10 or 20 that have, you know, I've had situations like this with, have emailed me back like about a few months later saying, hey, I just got my mic. I'm really excited to start doing auditions. And I'm like, hell yeah, like that's fucking awesome. So like that's kind of how I handle it, is like, you know, if you're serious, like, you know, I'll have a conversation with you, but if you're not like actually putting the energy in, then I'm not really gonna put the energy in, like, you know. Yeah, so that's kind of how I am. And if I've had friends in my life too that would like, or friends or acquaintances or people where like they'll just be in public like, oh man, I can do like a great, like, I don't know, Stitch impression, you know, some like
family.
Yeah, like, or a Joker, or like a whatever, and like they'll be like, oh, want to hear it? And I'm like, sure, you know, because we're just having fun, like, you want to do your impression. And then they'll just start talking about, man, I think I'd be such a great voice actor, like I've always thought about getting into it. And my first thought is like, don't think about it, just do it. Like if you want to get into something, do it, like, you know. And so, but I don't say it like that. Like I'll just be like, oh, well, that sounds cool, because in my mind right there I'm like, oh, they're just talking, they're not actually, you know, making any effort towards the goal, so I'm not really going to engage with it as if they are taking it seriously. But if in that instance they say, you know, I've been like looking at these mics and like, oh, I've been thinking about soundproofing, then I'll be like, you're actually wanting to have a conversation. Okay, so then I'll maybe raise my energy to actually have a conversation. But most of the time, if someone is just like, oh, I've thought about this, I just respond positively with like, oh yeah, that's cool, because I always want to encourage someone if they're interested in something. But I'm not gonna, you know, waste my time if you're not actually showing effort.
Oh yeah, exactly. I have a friend like that all fucking time, like who sees my YouTube channel. And he keeps like messaging me. He's been this way since high school, and he's just like, "Yo, man. So when I get started on my YouTube channel, like I'm gonna be doing this and this and this." And I'm just like, "Okay, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it. And then go ahead, by all
Do
means."
it.
But then like it's just like 8 months later, like, "Yo, man. So when I'm on the come up on my YouTube channel, just like you still haven't started it. Literally, you could start like when we finish that conversation, you could have done it." And it's just like, "Nah, man. Just like I just want to do all this shit proper." And it's just like, dude, I am telling you, like, no, I can't do this anymore. Like, I've been ever since like high school. Every time we talked, he's just like, I want to do this, because I remember like there were times where just like I want to do this, and I'm just like always encouraging. I'm just like, okay, I encourage this, but I think you have to pick one. You can't just go like, oh, I want to be like a top millionaire rapper, then turn into a bodybuilder, then go fight in the UFC, become world champion, get my body to do this. And it's just like, okay, dude, yeah, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but you need like to focus on what exactly you need. Something like it's
take steps towards your goals. Like,
talk is cheap. All right, don't tell people your results. Show them your work. Whatever. Yeah, don't tell people your plans. Show them your results. That is my quote for everything.
And it is okay to like to have like desires and stuff. But yeah, it's those people that like you'll have 5 different conversations with them about the same fucking thing. Like over the course of like 5 fucking years. Like where they're literally just like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do this. Have you? This is the third time you've said that. Like, cause if it's all about your words are so important. Because if they're like, I think voice acting is really cool, then it's like, oh yeah, it is really cool. What do you like about it? Like, versus if they're like, I really want to get into it. And then you start suggesting things and they're like backing away. Like, like it's the people that just want to talk about this idea. Yeah, they just want to talk. They don't actually want to. And again, it's okay to talk sometimes, but if you're gonna repetitively do this, like with someone that's actually out here fucking chasing their dreams, like you have to understand, like there's kind of a toll there. Like you either have to do or don't. There's nothing wrong with talking about dreams, but there's a certain point where you have to either do or accept that this isn't actually something you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's honestly like there's like some mutual friends of ours or like stuff like where we just like, hey, look, I know you really want to do this thing, but it's just like you need to put in the work towards it. Like, okay, like I understand like you want to do this and we are supportive of you, but you're not showing the work towards it because of like this thing, and that's going to hold you back. And it's just like trying to get that across, like just to like stick is just the thing, because it's just like you want to be supportive, but like there's a time where it's just like I feel like it's just like, hey, all right, look, you need to stop doing this because it's clearly not working or helping you in regard. You need to really grind and focus on it. And it's just like, okay, bro, like, because like to me, there's a point where it's just like, okay, because we all have this thing. Like, like honestly, if I could talk to myself from like 2012, it would be such a different conversation since that one was. I'm such a mature man now, but it's just like, okay, it's just, hey, bro, like this is what you need to do. This is what you need to focus on. Blah 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 blah. And like you have that talk over and over, and it's good to have those talks, but it's just like I understand like the feeling, because like sometimes it's just like you can't help how you feel, and it's just like, hey, well, keep after it if that's what you want to do, but just like keep after it. And like that's what I'm gonna say without talking in circles. So yeah,
I think the best 2 words to describe like my feelings towards this is, I think effort and humility are the best traits that you can fucking like display when it comes to any dreams or any conversation. Like if you're going into a conversation with something that you want to learn or something that you want to know or something that you're doing or anything, and you're talking to anyone, whether it's someone that's been doing it for 40 years or someone that's on the same page as you, showing effort and showing humility. So going into that conversation with, there's so much that I don't know, but there is stuff that I do feel like that I'm pretty good at because I've made the effort to learn. Or I'm here to make the effort to learn so that I can apply this knowledge. And I won't be able to do everything at once, but I already know that I want to at least take baby steps. What's the first little thing that I can do? Like that effort, and then humbling yourself. Those are the things that are honestly going to get the best reaction from anyone. Go into any situation with effort and humility, and you will be rewarded.
Damn straight. Yeah.
Fucking yes, dude. This was a great episode. I feel good.
Yeah.
We talked about some really good shit today. Well, everybody at home, we made a podcast. Jordan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Jaxblade Fitness on Twitter, Jaxblade on Instagram, Jordan Jaxblade Downs on Facebook, Jaxblade on YouTube. How about you, Connie Day?
You can find me at Connie Day, Kaniday official on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook Connie Day Cosplay, where I just share memes. Lol. You can also find me at Kirby Productions, KRWBY Productions on YouTube, and we are at RWBYABRD on Twitter. You can also find me at Dr. Crafty on YouTube, Dr. Crafty, and that's on Twitter as well, Dr. Crafty. And you can, of course, find us at WeirdFlexPod on Twitter, WeirdFlexBadoke Podcast on Patreon, and WeirdFlexBadokepodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to submit a question, you can find this podcast, of course, on iTunes and SoundCloud. And for our patrons that are probably listening to this early, thank you guys so much. You are hecking amazing. I'm going to post this episode. It's going to be lit. And if there was anything that you, like, heard in this episode that, like, you really liked or relate to, like, please tweet at us at WeirdFlexPod and, like, let us know, or, like, DM us at WeirdFlexPod, or send us an email, like, with your thoughts. Like, we love to see them and read them and, like, ask your questions if you have them. And also, yeah, like, we just love to hear from you. And on Patreon, I love when, like, you comment on the little, like, posts, like, even just a little thing of, like, this made my day, or this made me happy, or this is making an impact. Because, like, I love making this podcast because if I see a message of, like, man, I really liked that someone said this thing that I've thought about, but someone said it, like, because that's the shit that I look for in the world. Like, people that are saying the things that I know to be true that need to be said, and, like, they had the strength and the determination to, like, put forth the effort to educate themselves and just say it and put themselves out there. And I hope that I can be that person for someone too, even if just one person feels like they can say what needs to be said because someone else made them feel stronger. Like, that's all that I'd fucking want.
Exactly. Well said. Very well said.
Yeah. Well, I love you guys. Penis.
Penis.
Take a look at my enormous
look at my dick. It's like I can grab it with two hands and it still wiggles at the top, and that's not a lie. So there you go. Call me. Bye.
Bye. Oh, that rhymes.
If you're legal.
Oh my God. Okay, we're ending it right there. Goodbye, everybody.
All right.